So big toes together, knees wide, forehead down. You're trying to sit your hips back towards your heels. Then start to connect to your Ujjayi breath. Breathing in and out through your nose. Slightly constricting the back of your throat so you can hear the sound of your breath. And you just want to start to make your inhales, exhales a little bit longer through the nose so that we can use that breath throughout the practice. Now, keeping your legs in child's pose, walk your hands to the right side of the mat. Put your left hand on top of the right hand so you feel a little stretch through the left side of your body. Then walk it to the other side, walk it to the left side of the mat, put your right hand on top of the left. Now bring it to center, come up to your hands and knees to a tabletop position. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Inhale, drop the belly, arch your back and gaze up, cow pose. Exhale, tuck your chin in, round your back for cat. Inhale as you arch, just starting to warm up your spine. Exhale as you round. One more time. Inhale to arch. And exhale to round. After your last one, just find a nice neutral spine, flat back in the middle. Now take your right arm and lift it up. Open the chest and then thread the needle. Walk that right hand through, put your head down, and then walk the left hand forward. And if you want a little bit deeper stretch, walk your left hand to the right. So you just twist a little bit deeper. So let one more person into the class. Now come back up to tabletop and then we'll switch sides. Peel the left arm up, thread it through, put your head down, walk the right hand forward, maybe crawl it a little bit to the left. Good, back to your tabletop, to your hands and knees. Now, opposite arm and leg. Your right arm goes forward, left leg goes back. Flex the foot. Now, use your core to balance. As you exhale, try to bring your knee and elbow into touch. Inhale to extend it out and reach. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend, and now just hold it. Abs in, find your balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set it down. Switch sides. Left arm forward, right leg back. Finding your balance. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, extend. One more time. Knee to elbow. Extend it out. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place it down, tabletop. Now we'll come into our first down dog. So plant your hands shoulder width, tuck your toes, and lift your hips up. Feet hips width distance apart. And the first one, you can move around a little bit. Bend one leg at a time. Stretch the calves, hamstrings. Maybe bend one elbow at a time. Just kind of move around, see how your body feels today. When you're ready to settle in, shrug the shoulders away from the ears. Push your chest back towards your thighs and press your heels towards the mat. Remember, it's okay if they don't actually touch the mat, but just try to be heavy in the heels. Inhale, come forward just to a high plank position on your hands and toes. So shoulders, elbows, wrists stacked, feet hips width. Your body's in a straight line. This is exactly where your hands and feet should stay for down dog. Just lift the hips and push back, down dog. Inhale, glide forward, high plank. Exhale, down dog. One more time. Inhale, forward, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Take a couple steps. Keep your feet hips width and bend your knees. And then grab opposite elbows, ragdoll. Shake your head, yes and no. Relax your neck. And then you can sway side to side. Shift the body weight from the right foot to the left foot. Can also sway a little forward and back from the balls of feet to the heels. We're really just letting everything hang heavy here. Now release your arms, roll yourself up to stand, one vertebra at a time. And I know you can't see my arms, but lift your arms up. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist, and pull it to the right so that you feel a stretch on the left side body. It's just a side body stretch here. Good, lift up, switch. Left hand grabs your right wrist and pull it to the left. Good, back to center. Now bring your feet together. Bring your hands to prayer position at the center of the chest. We're gonna practice our Sun A, Surya Namaskar A. First time, I'll teach you the modification. We'll go through it together. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale with a flat back, swan dive down. Inhale, lengthen your spine. So fingertips can be on the shins or the floor. As you exhale, step to plank. The modified version, everybody puts the knees down, hug your elbows in, and slowly come to your belly. Untuck the toes. Cobra pose, just the chest lifts. It's a small back bend. Good, lower down. Now push up to your knees to that modified plank position. Tuck your toes, come back to down dog. Look at your hands and step your feet up to meet your hands, bringing the feet together at the front. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Now we use that flat back. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. And then exhale, bring your hands to prayer at the center of your chest. Now the next one, you can repeat the version on the knees, or I'll show the version from the toes, the full version. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step to plank. Now you can stay on the toes or you can drop to your knees. Chaturanga, like a tricep push-up. Elbows in and go halfway down. Flip over the feet. Inhale, up dog. Or you can stay with that cobra. Up dog, just a little bit deeper back bend. My knees are off of the floor. Just my hands and feet are touching the floor. And then as I exhale, lift the hips, flip back over your feet one at a time, and go back to your down dog. Look forward, step both feet up to meet your hands, feet together. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to prayer at the center of your chest. One more time, the whole thing, Sun A. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, flat back. As you exhale, plant your hands, step back. Chaturanga from the toes or the knees. Inhale to up dog or to cobra. Exhale, down dog. Look at your hands, step your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Good, now we're gonna take the hands behind the back and interlace them. If they don't reach, if you have a yoga strap or even a towel, you can hold on to that behind your back. Separate your feet hips width distance apart. Interlace the fingers, bend your knees a little, fold forward, keeping the hands interlaced or holding onto that strap or towel, knees slightly bent. Good, release your hands. This time, just go straight to down dog. Just step back to your downward facing dog and reset there. Lift the right leg up, step it between your hands and put your left knee on the ground, low lunge. Untuck the left toes and then try to bring your hands up to that right thigh. So you're sinking into the front of this left hip, your left hip flexor. You can keep the hands on the thigh or lift your arms up, maybe gaze up to the ceiling, adding a little bit of a back bend. Lower the hands to the floor or to your blocks. half split, straightening the right leg, flex the foot. If you need to, you slide it a little forward, but make sure your hip is directly over your knee and you're not sitting on your foot. Keep the foot flexed and fold, trying to bring your nose towards the shin. Good. Now we're going to go back to down dog. So you just put the foot down, plant your hands, step back to your down dog, and reset. And then we'll switch sides. You lift the left leg up, step it between your hands, and put your right knee on the ground. And wiggle it up there. If your foot doesn't quite make it up there, just use your hand to scoot it up there. So your knee's over your ankle, always to protect your knee. Hands on that front thigh. Sinking into that right hip flexor, the front of that right hip. You can keep the hands here or lift your arms up and have a little bit of a back bend, but not changing anything in the lower body. Good. Lower the hands down to the floor, or if you have yoga blocks, remember you can always put your hands on the blocks too. Straightening that left leg, flex the foot, half splits, folding towards the left leg. And now we're going to go back to down dog again. So plant your hands, step your way back to your downward facing dog. Step both feet to the front of your mat. And this time, just roll yourself up one vertebra at a time until you stand all the way up. Now we're going to practice our Sun B, Surya Namaskar B. So we add in chair pose and warrior one. But remember, the Chaturanga, you can still modify the same on the knees if you want. Hands to prayer, feet together. Good. Reach your arms up, bend your legs, Utkatasana, chair pose. So your knees and feet are all the way together. You should be able to see all 10 toes. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. Chaturanga from the toes or the knees. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up. Step it between your hands. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana A. Pivot the left heel down, turn it in 45 degrees, square your hips, and lift the arms up. So your back heel is flat on the ground. You're bending that front leg. Very nice. Exhale your hands to the mat and step back. Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Other side, lift the left leg up. Step it forward between your hands. Warrior one, Virabhadrasana A. Pivot the right heel flat, turn it in, square the hips, and lift your arms straight up to the ceiling. Exhale the hands all the way down to the mat and step back. Chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale to down dog. Now, Sun B, it always ends the same way it started. Look forward, step the feet to the front. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Feet together, bend your knees. Utkatasana, chair pose. Lift the arms up. Good. Press up to stand. Hands to prayer at the center of your chest. Nice. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Stay there. Separate your feet, hips width. Your first two fingers, like you're making a peace sign. Grab onto your big toes. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Elbows to the side, shoulders away from the ears. If you can't do it with straight legs, bend the knees. Good, release your toes. Now take your feet all the way to the edges of the mat, a little bit wider. Turn your feet out 45 degrees and then drop your hips down. Malasana, prayer squat. Hands come to heart center. Use your elbows, push the inner thighs apart. Press the chest forward to meet your hands. So really try to lengthen the spine as you open up the hips here. If your heels are having a hard time getting flat on the floor, try taking the feet wider apart, even off of the mat. Good, hands down, straighten the legs, toe heel your feet all the way back together. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step to plank. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. Lift your right leg up, step it between your hands. This time we're coming into Crescent Lunge. You're gonna stay on the ball of the back foot. Your heel is off of the ground, and then you lift your arms up, high Crescent Lunge. Your hips are square, but usually this one is a little bit longer stance than you had for Warrior One, because Warrior One is the one where your heel is on the ground. Crescent Lunge is the one where your heel is off of the ground. It's important to know the difference. Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana B. Pivot your back heel flat and open your arms like a T. So now your back foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat. Your right knee and right toes still point forward. And even though your torso and your hips face the side wall, your eyes, you're looking at that right middle finger. Good. Keep your eyes on that right hand. Flip your palm up to the ceiling. Put your left hand on your left thigh, reverse warrior. Reach your right arm backwards. And then as you come forward, place your right elbow on the thigh and your left arm straight up to the ceiling, modified side angle. Now today, if you want to add on, if you want to go deeper, put your right hand on the floor or on your block, right on the inside of the foot, and maybe try to reach your left arm forward, extended side angle, palm facing the ground. If it's okay on the neck, try to look up towards that ceiling under the armpit. Good, lift back up to your Warrior Two. Flip your right palm up, inhale, reverse your warrior, reach back. And then as you exhale, windmill the hands all the way to the front and step back. Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Other side, lifting the left leg up, step it between your hands, always set up the feet first, Crescent Lunge, then lift the arms up once you feel like you've got your feet balanced. You want to make sure your feet don't feel like they're on a tightrope. They should be hips width distance apart, it'll be easier to balance. Your back heel is off of the ground, arms are straight up to the ceiling. Now as we open to Warrior Two, pivot the back heel flat on the ground, open the arms out like a T. Good, gazing at that left hand, flip your left palm up, reverse warrior, right hand to the right thigh and reach your left arm back. So it's a side body stretch. As you come forward, place the left elbow on the left thigh, right arm straight up to the ceiling, modified side angle. And you can stay here if you want to add the full pose or the other variation, left hand to the floor or a block, right? If it doesn't reach the floor, put it on a block. Maybe that right arm reaches forward, bicep by ear, palm facing down, looking up towards the ceiling, extended side angle. Good, lift yourself back up, Warrior Two. Flip that front palm up, inhale, reverse. Exhale, windmill the hands down to the front, step back, chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale to down dog. Lift your right leg up, step it between your hands and come back to your Crescent Lunge. So same pose, high Crescent Lunge on the ball of that back foot. Now this time we're going to take it to airplane. So start to lean forward and sweep your arms back and then see if you can lift the left leg up. Flex the left foot, straightening both legs. Palms are facing the floor in airplane. Your hips are level and square. So all 5 left toes are pointed towards the mat. And you really have to focus your gaze because it's a balancing pose. Good. From here, put your hands down. Standing splits. Bring your nose towards the right leg and try to lift your left leg up higher. without opening the hip. If your hands don't reach the floor, put them on your yoga blocks. If you're pretty flexible here, maybe right hand grabs that right ankle to pull your nose closer to that right leg, but keep the left hand down. Good. Now bring your fingertips to the floor. Carefully step back to Crescent Lunge. So bend the right leg, set the ball of the left foot down first, then lift your arms up. Crescent Lunge again. Warrior Two, pivot the back heel down, open your arms like a T. Straighten your right leg. Walk your left foot in like 2 inches. Shift your hips back, reach forward, triangle pose. Put your right hand either on the shin or the top of the foot. Left arm straight up to the ceiling. So you have a straight line from that left hand to the right hand. Imagine there's a wall behind you, you're flat up against it. So your body's nice and flat on both sides here, creating length in the sides of your waist and your spine. Lift your torso back up. We're going to come back to Warrior Two. So walk your back foot out those 2 inches again and rebend your right leg. Flip your right palm up. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, windmill down to the front. Step back, Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Lift the left leg up. Last time, Crescent Lunge. So step it between your hands, set up your Crescent Lunge on the ball of the back foot, and then you reach your arms straight up. Now focus your gaze, start to lean forward first, sweep the arms back, palms face the floor, and then see if you can float your right leg up, airplane. Flex the right foot, all 5 toes point towards the mat, try to find something to stare at to help you balance. Good, then lower the hands down, standing splits. As your nose comes closer to that left leg, try to lift the right leg up higher. Both hands on the blocks or on the floor, or maybe the left hand grabs that left ankle. Good, bring your fingertips to the floor. Bend your left leg, step back to Crescent Lunge. Set the ball of the right foot down. Once you have your feet set up, then lift the arms up. Open to Warrior Two. Pivot the back heel down. Open the arms like a T. Good. Straighten the front leg, the left leg. Then walk your right foot in just 2 inches closer. Move your hips back, reach forward, and place your left hand on the shin or the foot, and your right arm straight up to the ceiling for triangle pose. Lift all the way back up. Now we have to adjust the back foot, move it back 2 inches, rebend the front leg, and refine that Warrior Two position. Flip the left palm up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Step back, Chaturanga, low push up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Good, child's pose. Bring your knees down, let your arms rest for a moment. Take a couple deep breaths, reset there. If you want some water, feel free to get some water. Now come up to your tabletop and we're gonna set up for dolphin pose. So it's like down dog, but on the forearms. I always prefer that people just first grab their triceps to measure out how wide their elbows should go, because really your elbows should stay right under the shoulders. From there, extend the forearms so that your forearms are parallel, palms are flat. If you look at your hands, your middle finger points forward and your arms look like a number 11. Keep your elbows on the ground and tuck your toes and lift your hips up. So it's like down dog, but with our elbows down. Walk your feet together right in the middle. Now you can stay here. It should be a lot of work in the shoulders. Try to keep your head off of the ground. But if you want to add on, lift your right leg up nice and high in your dolphin and hold. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switch legs. Left leg up high and hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, child's pose. Now back up to your hands and knees, tabletop. Puppy pose, it's different from our child's pose. Your hips are gonna stay up in the air, like right over your knees. So don't move your hips, just start to walk your hands forward and either bring your forehead down or maybe your chin to the ground and melt your chest to the ground. So it's a big arch in your back. You're trying to push your chest to the ground and you should feel that stretch in the shoulders and the back. Walk your hands in and then come back to your downward facing dog. Now we're gonna set up for lizard pose. You lift the right leg, step it out wide to the outside of the right hand, right at the edge of the mat, and then put your left knee down. So it's wider than earlier we had it between the hands to that low lunge, but lizard, the edge of the foot should be touching the edge of the mat. All 5 toes point forward, your knee is over your ankle. If your elbows don't reach the floor, if you have blocks, you can put your elbows on the blocks. If you can get your elbows to the floor, bring them to the floor. If that doesn't work, you can always stay up on your hands too. But you should mostly feel that stretch in the right hip. Press up to your hands. Just go straight to down dog this time. No chaturanga. Step back to your down dog and reset. Then we'll switch sides. You lift the left leg up, step it outside the left hand. And if it takes a couple steps, wiggle it up there. Drop your right knee to the ground. Your foot is right at the edge of the mat. All 5 toes point forward, knee over the ankle. Hands or elbows or blocks, whatever you can do on this side to get as low as you can, stretching into that left outer hip. Lizard pose. Press back up to your hands. Go back to down dog again. Step to the front of your mat. Roll up to stand 1 vertebra at a time. Now you're going to step to face the long edge of your mat so that your feet are parallel and probably a couple feet apart there. Good. Interlace the fingers behind the back or use your strap. Open the chest. Fold forward with the hands interlaced. Release the interlace of your fingers. Now just walk your hands through the legs. Keep stretching the hamstrings. Try to keep the legs straight if you can. Keep your feet where they are. Walk both hands over to the left leg. Grab your calf or ankle and see if you can pull your nose closer to the left leg. Walk it to the right leg. Pull your hands and pull your nose closer to that right leg. Now bring it to center. Find a flat back. Put a little bend to your knees, hands to your hips. Take your time, slowly stand up. Good. Step back to the front of your mat. Now we're gonna practice tree. I'm gonna back up a little bit so you can see me better. So your right foot either goes on the ankle, the calf, or you can use your hand to bring it up to the thigh. But try not to put your foot on your knee because it could hurt your knee. So you either want it above or below your knee, hands to prayer. Focus your eyes on something that's not moving. Really engage that standing leg to help you balance. Equally pushing your foot and thigh into each other. If your balance feels good, you want to add some arms. Lift your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Bring your hands back to prayer if you moved them, and then release the legs. Shake it out. Switch sides. Left foot on the right ankle, calf, or all the way up to the thigh. Push your foot and thigh into each other. Engage that standing leg. Core is involved. Start with the hands in prayer first and get your balance. Focus the gaze. If you want to add the arms, you can lift your arms up. Hands back to prayer and release the foot. Good. Meet at the top of the mat if you're not there already. Hands and feet together. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. We're going to step back to plank and lower to the floor. So step back to plank and then come all the way down. Good. Forehead down. Now make your arms like that airplane. Palms face down. Zip your legs up and then lift everything up. Arms, chest, leg, everything as high as you can, engaging the back muscles. Keep your neck long. Good. Hold for 5. Just try to look down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Let one ear come to the mat. Let everything relax for a moment. Now, forehead back down. You can either repeat the airplane arms or you can add on by interlacing the fingers together. Squeeze the legs together and lift everything up. Try to lift your hands away from your tailbone and hold. Locust pose, Shavasana. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Try to bring your other ear to the mat. Relax. Now, one more. Your feet are going to stay hips width distance apart for this one. Superman, you reach your arms forward. Palms facing each other, thumbs point up. Lift your arms and legs up, even if they don't go high. But try to get your arms in line with your ears and hold. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. And then this time, press back to a child's pose. So you can reset your spine, press all the way back to that child's pose. And make your way to a downward facing dog. We're going to set up for our half pigeon, or sometimes it's called one leg pigeon, either way. You're going to lift your right leg up, bend the knee as you bring it forward. Put your right knee down behind the right wrist and then really try to slide that left leg back. So your left leg is like if you were doing the splits. Your leg is straight, but the top of the foot and the knee is down so that those hips are square to the front. And then the right leg is bent. If your hips don't get to the floor, you could take your block underneath it. If you're just up high, that's okay too. Over time, your hips will get closer to the floor. Make sure your knee is not splaying out to the side, but it's also not in the middle. Your knee is in line with the hip here. Then you fold forward over that leg and bring your forehead down to the floor or block, or maybe just make some fists here and put your forehead on your fist. Whatever helps you so you can relax your neck and your shoulders and just breathe into that hip. You should mostly be feeling it in that right hip. Walk your hands in. And then we'll just go back to down dog in between sides. So step back, reset in your down dog. Then we'll lift the left leg up, bend the knee as you bring it forward. Put your left knee directly behind your wrist, and then you should end up in a good spot. Slide that right leg back as far as you can and untuck the toes. So you might have to kind of wiggle it back. So again, your left leg is bent, your right leg is straight, your hips and torso square to the front. If the hips are up high, it just means that they're a little bit tighter, right? Over time, they'll get to the floor, but don't lean like this because then you don't get any stretch. So I'd rather you be up high and be square if you need to. If you have something to stick under there, you can. And then wherever you're at, once you get the legs set up, you just fold forward over that front leg. And again, if you're doing it right, you should mostly feel it in this left outer hip. Now, if other areas of your leg are tight, you might also feel it there too. It's not wrong. It just means those areas are also tight. Walk your hands in. We're gonna go back to one last down dog of the class. So just kind of check in, press into your heels, see how it feels compared to the beginning of class, right? Hopefully it feels a little bit more open. And we'll step to the front and have a seat. Now you might have to face the long ways, just depends on your space, but we're gonna come into a seated straddle split. So you can face the front or the side, wherever you have more space to open the legs. So try to wiggle your legs as far apart as you can and flex the feet. Then take your right hand, if you can reach, grab your right foot. But if you can't reach it, just grab your right leg. And then take the left arm over your ear, so it's a side body stretch, and try to rotate open, looking up towards the ceiling under that left armpit. Good, take it to the other side, all the way up and over towards that left foot, stretching the right side of your body. Now lift your torso up. Keep the feet flexed and start to walk your hands forward and fold. Try not to let the toes roll in, right? If you only go a couple inches, that's fine. Wherever you can put your hands. If you can get the elbows down, put them down. If you can go a little further, maybe eventually the forehead comes down. If you have blocks, you can use the blocks under your forehead too. But wherever you're at, you should feel it mostly in the inner thighs, but you'll also feel it in the back of the leg as well, the hamstrings, and you might feel it in your lower back too. Walk your hands in. Still stretching the inner thighs. You're going to come into butterfly, Baddha Konasana. Bring the soles of the feet together. Scoot your hips in if you can. Grab your ankles. Use your elbows. Try to push your inner thighs down with your elbows. Then try to fold, bringing your head towards your feet. Now there's two variations. You can stay here holding the ankles with the elbows pushing the inner thighs down, or you can just try to walk your hands forward and fold forward a little bit more. Slowly come up. Bring your knees together. If you're not facing the front, spin to face the front and straighten the legs out. Flex your feet, seated forward fold. Feet together, sit up tall, and then fold forward. Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. If you have that strap and you can't reach your feet, you could put the strap around your feet. And then you can kind of hold on that way. Or if you don't have a strap, you can always just grab your legs, your feet, whatever you can reach there. And this one, you'll feel it again in your lower back a little bit, but also mostly in the hamstrings and the calves, the back of the legs. Slowly come up. We're gonna roll to our back. If you have your strap or towel, I would take it with you. You'll probably want it. We're gonna lift the right leg up. So if you want, you can take a strap or towel around the right foot and then use that to pull the leg towards you. But if you don't have that, you can also just grab the back of the leg. It could be the hamstring, the calf, or the ankle, but you wanna make sure it's straight. So if you're grabbing too high and that forces you to bend the leg, grab lower so you can get the leg straight. Flex the right foot and then pull the leg straight towards you. The left leg, you can just let it completely relax. Just focus on flexing the right foot and keeping the leg straight as you pull it in, either with your hands or with the strap. Okay, switch legs, so let your right leg relax. If you're using that strap or towel, put it around the left foot and then pull the leg towards you, or just use your hands to grab either your hamstring, calf, or ankle. Let your right leg relax. Flex the left foot, keeping that leg straight. Pull it as close to you as you can. Good, release and hug both knees into your chest. Rock a little bit side to side. Now we're going to keep the right knee hugging into the chest and straighten your left leg on the floor. Just squeeze the right knee in. Open your right arm out to the side like a T. Use your left hand to twist your right knee across your body as close to the floor on that left side as you can. Then turn your head and look towards the right hand. Spinal twist. Bring it back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. Neutralize the spine here in between sides. Then we'll keep the left knee hugging in. Straighten the right leg out. Give that left knee a squeeze towards you. Open the left arm like a T. Use your right hand and twist the left knee across your body as close to the floor as you can on that right side. And then turn your gaze and look towards the left hand. Spinal twist. Bring everything back to center. And we're going to give those knees one last squeeze. Hug them in. Wrap your arms around your shins and try to curl up into a tight little ball, bringing your forehead up to your knees, giving yourself a big hug, and then just letting everything go, coming into Shavasana, our final relaxation. Extending the legs long, let the feet fall open about as wide as your mat. Let the arms relax alongside you with the palms facing up. Take your shoulders, try to shrug them away from your ears so your neck stays long. And as you close your eyes, clear away all of your thoughts. Take a nice deep inhale through your nose. Exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go, letting the muscles relax even deeper into the floor. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Start to bring some small movements back to your body. Maybe draw a couple circles with the wrists and ankles, moving them in both directions. Maybe gently moving your head a little bit side to side. Anything that feels good to you. And when you feel ready, reach the arms overhead, reach the legs long, create that nice full body stretch, getting as tall as you can. And keep your eyes closed. Just hug your knees into your chest and roll over to one side, coming into a fetal position. With eyes closed, use your hands to press you up into a seated position. Sit up tall and cross your legs. Bring your hands together in prayer position, right at the center of your chest, Anjali Mudra. Take a couple last deep breaths here, scanning your body, noticing how it feels after your yoga practice today. Let's take one more nice deep inhale through your nose. And then exhale all the air out the mouth, letting it go. Lift your hands to your forehead, your third eye center. Bowing forward. Namaste.